Asking somebody to wear hearing protection on a motorcycle is like asking somebody to quit smoking. They're only ever going to do it when they're ready to do so. So in today's video, I won't be pressuring the situation like, oh, you're going to get hearing damage around your bike, you're going to get tinnitus. All I'm going to do is try and help everybody make an educated decision whether they wish to wear hearing protection or not. And here is how I'm going to help everybody make an informed decision around the situation of hearing protection on your motorcycle. I reached out to a company called Ultimate Ear. They didn't call me and say, can we send you some products? I reached out to them because I've been using their Squidgy earplug for about 5 years now. And I think it's absolutely fantastic. And since starting this channel, I made a sort of pact to myself that I'd only work and recommend companies that I truly believe in and genuinely make a great product, and not sort of just get sent stuff for free and say, oh, it's amazing. So this is really genuine, and it hits close to home because I am a tinnitus sufferer. I've got hearing damage in my right ear, and I know it's from motorcycles because I'm not around loud environments all the time. So this is the company we'll be discussing today, and they've got a range of earplugs which we'll go into in a short moment. Now, before we set off, I'd just like to ask you if you could please hit that subscribe button in the bottom right hand side of the video. That would be much appreciated. I'd love to have you along for the journey, and I really appreciate all the support that all of you have given me lately on the channel. Now let's start with the 3 options that Ultimate Ear offer for motorcycle hearing protection. We start off with the Squidgy earplug. Now this will give you 30 decibels of hearing protection, and it's your go-to earplug for hearing protection while on the bike. So if you're just going out for a short journey, or you want to go ride with some hearing protection, a nice quiet journey, then you'll pop this earplug in and it will just give you that hearing protection that you need. The second option is your filtered plug. Now you'll probably use that with an intercom system where you've got speakers in your lid. That's the best option for that if you want to be able to use your intercom with the hearing protection. They will give you 2 different types of hearing protection. You can choose this in the options. So you either go for 23 decibels of hearing protection, or you go for a 29 decibels of hearing protection. And that will allow you to still hear your intercom stuff through your helmet, through the speakers, whilst getting the protection you need on your ears. Then you've got the third option, and that's the Soundear. And that basically is 2 options. So they do that in a wired option or a Bluetooth option, and they do it in a lower sound quality option or a higher sound quality option, which is the Soundear Pro. And these are absolutely awesome, and you can plug those in with your intercom. So if you've got the wired version, you can plug that into your intercom, or if you go for the Bluetooth version, you can't actually connect that up to your intercom. It will connect to your phone, which you can still get audio through your phone and your sat nav and stuff like that. But if you want to run comms, intercoms, then you're going to need the wired version of the Soundear. So there's your 3 options. And now we'll go through each one individually because I've actually got all 3. I personally bought the Squidgy, and then I bought the Soundear Pro. And when I reached out to Ultimate Ear to say, look, I love your products, I've been using them for years now, I'd love to do some reviews. Is there any way you could help with the video? And they kindly said they'd sponsor the video, which is fantastic. And they sent me the only option I didn't have, which was the Soundear wired version. So we can go through all of them because I've got all the products now and I've tested them all. So this isn't a biased opinion. Ultimate Ear did not reach out to me and say, oh, James, can you speak about these products? What do you think? I reached out to them because I love their products. I think they're the best in the business. And I just wanted to basically inform you guys of what options you've got with them and how to protect your ears properly, because there's some products out in the market that don't offer the same level of protection, and they won't last as long either because these are built so well, and I've had them for so long. I'm like, right, I can really endorse these and I can actually speak about them with an honest opinion, and it's not biased, it's all from my own personal experiences. So let's start off with the Squidgy. Now we've got 30 decibels of hearing with the Squidgy. Absolutely awesome earplug, and it's my go-to earplug. If I'm jumping on the bike for short journeys, I'll just stick it in. If I don't want to set up all my audio, I don't have intercoms on or something, I'm just going to chuck the Squidgy and go for a nice quiet ride, listen to the noise of the bike. This is the best thing about these earplugs, you hear the sound. So what I can do now on this video is show you what it sounds like with the hearing protection of 30 decibels, and I can alter the audio and show you what it's like without it, so you get a real easy comparison of what we're sort of dealing with here in terms of audio and that lovely soundtrack that you get from 1200cc twin bikes like this, or it's your super bike or anything else. That's what you're running. So I can change the audio now so you can get a good idea of what it sounds like without it and the wind noise, and then what it sounds like with it. So I'll be doing that, as we go along here. So this is your kind of sound with the earplug, and then we haven't got much space here, but I'll show you sort of sound without it and how much louder it is with the wind and everything. That's the kind of comparison you're getting. So it doesn't actually kill any of this beautiful soundtrack. The other fantastic thing I love about the Squidgy earplug is I use it for track days. I do a few track days a year. If I've got a race bike or something like that, or a super bike, I'll probably spin some laps on the track at some point, and I have to wear hearing. It's so much wind noise, you know, you're high speed all the time, and you've got that screaming exhaust, and just protecting the ears is fantastic. It's the best thing ever. And you can focus more, you know, this noise, it dampens down the wind noise, and you can really focus on your brake points, your turning points. So I absolutely love the Squidgy earplug for general motorbike use and track days. It's super important. Another thing I use it for is just around the garage. If I've got the compressor on, or I've got some loud tools, impact guns or something, I'll stick the Squidgies in, I'll just leave them in for an hour or so, because you don't even know they're there. Once they're in your ears, you genuinely just forget they're even there, because you can hear everything. People talk to you. They're the best thing. So yeah, fantastic earplug. We're talking £80 for the Squidgy earplug, and then your £30 impressions. So, you know, we're at £110 all in, but it's a good price because it's going to last you. Like I said, I've had these about 5 years. They're going to last you. And besides that, when you get your impressions done for £30, you can actually use them for all the different types of earplugs that Ultimate Ear offer, whether it is in motorcycle or another industry you want to use them for, motorsport, cars, that sort of thing. The impressions are all interchangeable, so you can use them for all the earplugs, which is fantastic. So yeah, very, very straightforward with that kind of thing. And the price, you can't put a price on your hearing. You genuinely cannot do that. So, you know, £80 I think is cheap, and if you divide that over 5 years, wow, like they're an absolute bargain. If you're using disposable earplugs, you're going to be throwing them away, and you know, you probably do that in a couple of years on disposable ones. So yeah, Squidgy earplugs, highly recommend. Let's discuss the filtered plug. Now it's going to be pretty much the same as the Squidgy plug, other than the fact it just changes the level of sound protection. Because you'll be using this with your intercoms, you want to be using the filter plug on whichever works for you. Now personally, I prefer to have more hearing protection and less sound coming through the intercom, because if you're going with the less hearing protection and you've got a loud exhaust like this, they don't provide the same amount of protection. It's just not quite the same. I'm really happy with the higher protection there on the louder decibel, well sorry, the quieter decibel setting that you can order these in. So that specification there works for me. Again, like I said, they're very similar to the Squidgy, but you've just got that different level of filter you can choose between for your intercom. So if you've got a helmet with intercom built-in speakers and you've got them in there, then the filtered earplug is the one to go for. Then there's not really much else to say about that. The quality's the same, the product's the same. It's a fantastic option if you're using intercoms in your helmet. So that's quite a quick one to go through. Now we'll move on to the Soundear, which is my personal absolute favorite, because I love listening to music when on a motorcycle, and with the intercom connected, if you're using the wired version, it is just the best system because you get that crystal clear sound. You can set the volume level to whichever is going to work best for you, and you can speak to your friends on a ride, and it's absolutely fantastic. So let's start and have a chat about that with the price. Now the Soundear comes in a wired version or a Bluetooth version, and they do the standard wired version and the standard Bluetooth version. Then they do the Soundear Pro in a wired version or a Bluetooth version. And this is a real interesting topic to discuss because the sound quality between the two is very different. The Soundear Pros are quite expensive, but the sound quality you get, if you're into your music, is worth it. So we'll do a comparison of sound in a bit. I'll play some audio through your speakers now, well, in a bit, showing you this kind of difference in sound quality you get between the two. And I think that's really important because look, if you just want to listen to music and you're not too fussed about the quality, then you'd go for the option that suits you best financially, which would be the Soundear. It starts at £189 for the wired version, and then the Soundear Bluetooth is £239. So that's the price difference there between the wired and the Bluetooth version of the standard system. And the standard system is great. Like it's not a bad system at all, but it just doesn't deliver the bass that the Soundear Pro does, and that's the main difference between it. Everything else is pretty much the same. The vocals, the mids, quite similar, but the Soundear Pro
you really do notice that difference in audio quality. So if you've got some music and you really want to hear the quality of it, then the best option for you would be the Pro. But the standard Soundear, if that's fitting within your budget, you're not going to be disappointed with it, and it's going to deliver everything you can. So you can listen to your music and you can stick it into your comms when riding, and you'll get a fantastic quality. Personally, I'd say if you're using it for intercoms and not music, I'd go with just your standard Soundear. But if you're using it for music and your intercoms, I'd probably stretch the budget a little bit out there and get the Pro. They're going to last, they're built well, they're not cheap, sort of bad quality items, and they're going to just deliver that sound quality you're looking for if you're going for a music experience. And it increases the sound of the intercoms a little bit as well. But just remember, with the Bluetooth version, you can't connect that up to your comm, so you have to have the wired one. And the best thing about that is Ultimate Ear offer different size cables and jack sizes, like your 3.5mm jack. You can get it in a 90-degree or a straight jack. There's loads of options on the website, so check it all out. They're very accommodating when it comes to all that. Let's just cover the cost of the Soundear Pro. So if you're looking for that extended, more deep mid-range and the higher bass levels of the Soundear Pro, you're looking at £289 for the wired version and £339 for the Bluetooth version. So, and now we're just going between, because I want to stick with these earplugs because I'm such a sort of fan of music on bikes. I do want to go through the options here, because there are some differences that you get with the standard Soundear. So your standard Soundear earplug is identical to your Squidgy, and this is very important in terms of size and fitment, because this is a factor that could change your mind here. If you're focused on just having this for the comms and you're not too fussed about the sound quality as such, then the standard Soundear is actually fits in your ear a little bit nicer, because it doesn't have that driver in there for all the bass and the better mids. It's actually got a smaller profile, it's quite thin, and that makes a little difference to when you're using the earplugs and you're fitting them in. With the Soundear Pro, they're a bit bulkier, and when they're in your ears and you're trying to get your helmet on, it does sort of dislodge them a little bit, so it takes a little bit more time to get your helmet on and get them in a comfortable position. Whereas the standard Soundear, they just slide in like the Squidgies, and you slide your helmet and you hardly even know they're there. Whereas with the Pros, they, like I say, they've got a larger profile there. So that's one thing to note, and quite an important thing when you're ordering. So, you know, don't just get the Pro because you think, oh, I may as well because it's within budget or whatever. Just remember that if you're not too fussed about the quality, the standard Soundear does have a slightly lower profile, and it fits nicer in the ear, and it's I'd say maybe 10% more comfy than the Soundear Pro. That's definitely worth mentioning when speaking about the two and you're deciding to order. So I hope that opinion helps you out a little bit if you're on the website and you're ordering and watch this video. And now we're cruising along now, let's just show you the difference between the audio quality of the two earplugs of the Soundear. So let's just go, we'll play some music now that I've chosen to show you the quality of the standard Soundear. And as you can hear there, you know, you've got your sound, it's a little bit tinny, and then I'll show you the sound of what it's like with the Soundear Pro. And as you can hear there, there's a little bit more mid, a little bit more bass to it. It's very hard to explain exactly how well the sound comparison is, so please don't take this as like it's definitely going to sound like that, but that is the comparison that I feel I hear when listening to the two different earphones making the music there, and the sound. So that's the kind of feedback I get. The actual quality is going to be different, because when you've got it in your ear, you're going to be able to hear it slightly different to what you're hearing through your speakers on your computer or your phone or your TV now. So that's just a little sound comparison to give you an idea of the difference in sound you're going to get. You just receive a little bit more bass, so I hope that helps when making the decision on these. And it's also worth noting that the Soundear Bluetooth range has the controller on it, so you can increase and decrease the volume. It's got a microphone, so you can take calls through it, and you press the middle button there to turn the whole system on, and you hold the middle button to turn it all off. And you can use that to skip tracks, and you think you press it 3 times and it goes backtrack. So yeah, the functionality there is very handy.
Okay, we're back where we started. I sincerely hope this video has helped. Whether or not it's going to help you make an informed decision, whether you're going to buy hearing protection or not, or it's going to just be for your comms. You know, you might want to wear the plugs when you've got the comms in. It just helps hear everybody a little bit clearer, cancels out some of that hearing noise. I hope it's been an informative video and it's going to help some of you out a little bit. Ultimate Ear have been kind enough to give me a discount code for all of the viewers and subscribers. So that is in the description along with the website to Ultimate Ear. And they've got loads of other products other than motorbike stuff. You know, you may be watching and you may ride bikes, but you may be in construction or something, you want some hearing protection. They do loads of stuff like that for motorsport. Plenty of stuff. Go check the website out and don't forget to use the discount code because that will help out make these products a little bit more affordable for you. So thank you very much for watching. Any comments or questions, please drop them in the box below. I'm always in the comments, as you've seen in my other videos, so I'm there to have a chat with you guys and I love doing so. So thanks very much for watching and we'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.